So one day, this guy in Russia was bored, so he asked a few of his friends in college if they wanted to go hiking in the mountains. And the friends said yes, so him and 9 of his friends, who were all experienced hikers, decided to set forth and go on this trip. And they told the people that they know at home that they would reach back out 3 weeks after setting forth on this trip and let them know how they're doing. One of the hikers had to leave 5 days in because he was not feeling good, and he ended up being really lucky because 3 weeks later, when the hikers were supposed to reach back out to the people back home, the people back home heard absolutely nothing. So the people back home kept on waiting for an answer and kept on waiting for the hikers to reach out and let them know they're okay, and they heard nothing at all. So they kept waiting and waiting, and still nothing. That's when the people started to panic. A search team was sent out to find the hikers, and they found the tent that the hikers were using, but it was collapsed, covered in snow, and all of the belongings that the hikers had, like boots, clothes, and equipment, were in the tent, neatly arranged in perfect fashion. The weird thing was that the hikers were nowhere to be found near their tent with all of their stuff. So the search party kept on going to look for the hikers, and they finally found 5 of them about 100 yards away from their tent. They were dead next to a fire pit in the snow, wearing only their underwear, which made no sense at all to the people looking for them. One of them had burns on his body and had even bitten a piece of his hand off. They were positioned in a way that made it seem like they were trying to go back to the tent, but just didn't make it before dying. And then 2 months later, the remaining 4 hikers were found under 4 meters of snow in a ravine that was 75 meters away from the first 2 bodies. These hikers, unlike the others, had way worse injuries. Some of them had broken skulls, one had chest injuries, and one of the hikers was missing her eyes and her tongue. So still, investigators had no idea what caused all of this, but they do have some theories. Some said there may have been an avalanche that wipes them out. Some thought a local tribe could have harmed them, and some even said that the hikers may have lost their minds due to a certain type of sound frequency that they were hearing in the mountains. There were even some Russian citizens who thought that this was the government doing it and trying to cover something up. They noticed that there was radiation on some of the hikers' clothes, which made people think that it could have been caused by a weapons testing disaster, and there were just no answers at all. So for 60 years, everybody goes quiet with no answer at all. And then 60 years later, the Russian government decides to reopen the case to finally find an answer. And well, they didn't. But they say that the most likely cause of this was an avalanche, even though it doesn't explain half of the things that happened. So I guess we'll never know. Let me know what you think happened though, and subscribe for more videos like this.